When it comes to Garden Warfare 2 unused content, I don't think there's anything more infamous than the 2 laser gerts that were found in 2017. Today we're going to cover how these gerts were found and also what their purpose in Garden Warfare 2 is meant to be, so let's get straight into it. The first time we ever saw these gerts was in a video by Gamer where he found someone playing as one of the gerts in online multiplayer. This was in 2017, so there was no Frosty editor at this point. What followed this video was an EA forum going over everything this gert could do. We learnt what the abilities for this gert was and also that there was a version for it made for the Plants team as well. A YouTuber by the name of German Shoe dug into the game files and found out that the gert's name is Laser Horns and Laser Mohawk. Outside of this, there wasn't much else found for the laser gerts until BobBox999 contacted one of the developers in regards to the laser gerts. Here we got confirmation on how the gerts would work and what they would be used for. Justin Weeb would also add that it was meant to be a different version of Cats vs Dinos to prevent the fatigue of the game mode. When Xerox Fusions asked if we was going to get the gerts in a newer update for the game, Justin added, "Even though it was confirmed we'd never see the laser gerts added to the game officially, we had a good idea on what they were meant to be used for now." For those who are unfamiliar with how Cats vs Dinos works, it's a pretty simple game mode where it's like Soil Survivors where it's search and destroy, but everyone plays as rather the cat or the dino from Infinity Time. And the game mode for the laser gerts would work quite similar where everyone would play as rather a green or a purple gert depending on what team you were on. The Garden Warfare 2 game files indicate that this would just be played on regular Team Vanquish maps instead of one designed specifically for the game mode. Going off Justin Weeb's tweets, it seems like it would be very dedicated to teamwork, similar to how the BFN Swarm game modes used to work. Now I want to go into detail on what the gerts themselves actually do and how they look. First of all, the visuals. Both of the gerts have armour all over them. The colours are different depending on what team the gert's on, being green and purple. There's a bunch of lights all over the armour as well. The plant version of the gert has a mohawk on his head, and the zombie version has horns on his head. Each of the gerts have a laser on the side of their armour similar to how the hover gert has. They reuse a bunch of audio from hover gert as well. As for the weapons for these gerts, they come with a very similar weapon to the original hover gert, but instead of having ammo, it overheats instead. They also come with a double jump ability, which is the only time a Garden Warfare 2 character has a traditional double jump in this entire game. As for the gert's abilities, they both have the damage buff beam from the original hover gert character. The middle ability is a self-heal that will heal the gert over time. Finally is the impulse grenade. When fired, it will leave a regular gravity grenade on the ground, and after a few seconds it will blast away all plants nearby. As for loading up the gert game mode itself, whenever you load into the mode it will automatically turn you into the gert depending on what team you're on. You're not able to start the game though because it constantly says it's waiting for players. It also lacks the change team button on the pause menu, instead just letting you respawn. As for when these gerts were meant to be added to the game, it's very likely they were meant to be added in the Frontline Fighters DLC. This is because the weapon name uses CU5 in it, which stands for Content Update 5, which is the same one that Scallywag Imp uses. The hover gert was added in CU4, so there's no chance that the laser gert was replaced by hover gert in development. I had a look inside of the Trials of Gnomus DLC's files to see if the laser gert was in there, and he is left over in this build of the game, still stated to be added in CU5. However, only the purple version of the gert exists in this build, with the green one only having a weapon. Furthermore, the laser gert doesn't have any unique abilities in this version of the game, instead just using hover gerts. The laser gert's primary weapon is also quite different in this build, with it having ammo instead of overheating. Weirdly enough, it has 35 ammo while the original hover gert only has 30, meaning it's probably an upgraded version of hover gert's weapon. There's early versions of the Team Vanquish gerts game mode left over in this version, but it only supports the Dino Land map for some reason. In the game mode setup file for the laser gert mode, they added one property connection between current day and CU4. What the property connection is meant to do is make it so when you press pause it will allow you to switch teams, but it doesn't work in the game. Now there's not much else to talk about for the laser gerts, but I am going to set up some AI so I can show you how the game mode would function if it was playable now. So I'm going to show you some gameplay of the gerts in the game mode with some AI teammates and enemies using the laser gerts too, so I hope you enjoy.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and maybe subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you all in the next one.